quickly do a tutorial on how to put on a wrist gasket. First off, our wrist gaskets, they keep us dry. So if this is in good shape, we're going to stay warm and dry. If it's ripped, we're going to get somewhere wet. Simple. Looking through our fleet, we have a lot that are ripped in this way. I can honestly say I've never ripped a wrist gasket. I've done lots of neck seals. So I think a lot of this is just maybe a bit of a lack of coaching. So when we're taking these off, take the neck off first, then you turn the sleeves inside out and you roll it off your wrist. Quite important, make sure you're not wearing a watch or a bracelet or rings, and that'll just help to look after these a bit longer. We don't want to be sort of taking a nail and opening up the wrist seal to try to pull it off, because they're all ripped in a similar fashion. So yeah, that's our neck seal, our wrist seals. First thing I'm going to do is I need to trim the gasket down so there's at least 1 centimeter of overlap. So there's 2 different ways of doing this. If you send it away to a manufacturer, they'll peel back all this seam tape here, and then they'll actually sew in a new one for you. Most kayak shops would simply trim this in a nice neat way, giving about centimeters overlap. So I'll do that for you really quick. You can do this a bit neater than I will. Best to leave a bit more overlap than you think you need. So at this point it looks roughly like that. And it's giving me a bit of the old gasket to glue the new one to. What I need at this point is I need a sort of frame to put inside here that's going to hold it nice and flat for me. So like I've got over here, so I've made one out of cardboard, and you can see how the gasket is fully filled out, so I've got a nice even surface to attach the new one to, and I've just rolled the new one back so it's got that bit of overlap. What they say is that you're best to take a bit of fine grain sandpaper and you basically roughen up the edges here and here. And if you have it as well, like a little bit of alcohol does a good job to just keep it really clean. But yeah, I don't have that, so we're going to try it. So that's what I need at this stage. Then I take a bit of Aquaseal. This is the only glue that works, so don't try to shortcut any corners. It is expensive glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do one continuous but quite thin bead of glue. So it's got to go all the way around, like that. And you can see I'm trying hard not to do too much. Keep it really consistent. There we go. So double checking there's no gaps. It's looking good. A little gap there. Careful I don't do too much. So that's what I mean by a continuous bead of glue. And at that point I'm just going to fold this gasket over it. So this is the new one going on. So it's nice and neat like that. Very good. Do we have masking tape, Jamie?
Yeah, in one of the... Let's...
Oh, the green stuff?
Yep,
Perfect.
that's masking tape.
So the cardboard's giving it a little bit of tension. I just need a touch more. So I'm going to take this masking tape that can peel off the garment easily. Put it on like that. So the different glues have different drying times. They're typically about overnight, really, 8 hours or so. So I'm going to leave that overnight, and then when I'm done with it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach inside this gasket and carefully pull out the cardboard pieces inside that are holding it like that. And then we'll have a brand new dry wrist gasket. Any questions, Jamie?
My only thought to add is that for the glue, we only need one sort of small seam around, because when you put it on there, that's going to spread it out. So you don't need to try and cover everything, because it's going to spread out with the pressure of the gasket. So,
Totally.
Yeah.
This glue is quite expensive, and as soon as it's exposed to the air, it starts to cure or dry out. So the best place for this to live is in Rich's freezer. There you go. See you later.